Welcome back, guys. We've got a number of updates to go over today regarding the latest news in the online censorship campaigns that a number of governments and organizations are trying to enforce on all of us, starting with our platform right here, our good old YouTube. Disclose saying just in. YouTube will begin using AI to monitor user behavior and psychology to determine whether viewers in the US are over or under the age of 18. Specifically including a screenshot that says, here's how it works. We will use AI to interpret a variety of signals that help us to determine whether a user is over or under 18. These signals include the types of videos a user is searching for, the category of videos they have watched, or the longevity of the account. When the system identifies a teen user, we'll automatically apply our age-appropriate experiences and protections, including disabling personalized advertising, turning on digital well-being tools, adding safeguards to recommendations, including limiting repetitive use of some kinds of content. If the system incorrectly estimates a user to be under 18, they will have the option to verify that they are over 18, such as using a credit card or a government ID. We will only allow users who have been inferred or verified as over 18 to view age-restricted content that may be inappropriate for younger users. Wow, so there is a number of takeaways from that. So first of all, using AI to monitor behavior is pretty dang creepy. But then they say that if they estimate that you're under 18, you're going to be forced to submit your credit card or government ID to prove that you're not. Yeah, that policy seems pretty terrible in of itself, and it also seems like something that could be abused just to try to force people to submit their personal information. And then they take that even further by saying, we will only allow users who have been inferred or verified as over 18 to view age-restricted content that may be inappropriate for younger users. So certain content right here on YouTube, you might not even be able to watch it unless you have already submitted this personal information of yours. Yeah, it's just so crazy. All this stuff going on around the world around the same frame of time with these increasing regulations, increasing censorship, and more corporate and government overreach. And now right here on YouTube too, apparently. Hey, right around the same time, here's some news about YouTube doing similar stuff. Like, what the frick is going on, man? Pretty much everyone has the same idea right now that this is all way too suspicious, that it's all going around the same, around the same time frames. Like, these corrupt people are not even trying to hide what they're trying to do here. They're like, yeah, we're going to do this stuff and you guys can't do anything about it. I mean, we'll see about that, but it's where things are right now. But there's also plenty more to go over in this video. So let me know what you think about this and let's continue on. So we got another UK politician just making a terrible statement on air, and it's just hilarious. Of course, it's disturbing what's going on, but hearing these politicians is just hilarious because they sound so bad. And so here's this guy trying to guilt trip people about using VPNs. Now, quick context, the UK is already nervous about people using VPNs to get around their regulations, and they're begging parents to take VPNs away from children. And of course, ultimately, no surprise if they try taking VPNs away from everyone, but that's currently, that's their current rhetoric. Oh, we're trying to protect the kids. We need adults to be sure that their kids are not using VPNs. And then as mentioned, probably they come for everyone's VPNs, but I digress. Let's watch this 20-second clip. Listen to this dude, man.
For everybody who's out there thinking of using VPNs, let me just say to you directly, verifying your age keeps a child safe, keeps children safe in our country. So let's just not try and find a way around. Just prove your age, make the internet safer for children, make it a better experience for everyone. That's surely what we should aspire to in this country.
Don't you dare use VPNs, guys. Don't find a way around it. We need to protect the kids. We can't have anyone using VPNs, and we need all your personal information, and we need to spy on you and monitor your social media activity and come after you for criticizing our government policies in any way, shape, or form. That's why we set up our elite task force. But, you know, don't question all of this. Just obey, guys. Just obey. It's the morally right thing to do. You care about the children, right? By the way, we're also making life worse for the children, too. But, of course, we're not going to mention that. Oh, and don't you dare mention those grooming gangs that are going after kids in real life and how we're not doing enough or really anything to stop that at all. Because mentioning that would be hate speech towards us, the government. We would certainly have to take action if you were to hate speech the government, guys. Okay, enough satire. I know, it's just, I can't believe these people. I don't know what else to say. It's just unbelievable. As if that wasn't all hilarious enough. As if this UK politician didn't already look terrible enough. I mean, the guy had to go off on Twitter and take it even further. Man had to go Kaioken on looking like a complete joke or something here. He needed that multiplier because he went on Twitter. And in response to Nigel Farage MP saying Peter Kyle's comments on Sky News are disgusting, he should do the right thing and apologize. Well, Peter Kyle, the politician we just watched, went on to say, if you want to overturn the Online Safety Act, you are on the side of predators. It is as simple as that. Yeah, I'm not even going to say what we're all probably thinking, but let's take a look at this community note that says, opposing the Online Safety Act isn't siding with predators, it's defending free speech. The law enables censorship, mass surveillance, and vague harm rules that threaten privacy and dissent. Rights groups worldwide have called it a danger to democracy. Oh, and what's this? A top response saying, hey Grok, did Peter Kyle vote against a new national inquiry into grooming gangs? And according to Grok at least, it says, yes, Peter Kyle voted against a Tory amendment calling for a new national inquiry into grooming gangs during the January 8th, 2025 debate on the Children's Wellbeing in Schools bill. All voting Labour MPs opposed it, 364 to 111 defeat. However, the government later announced a full statutory inquiry in June 2025 following a review. And then Australia sees what's happening in the UK and they're like, hold my beer. This news breaking on July 30th. So, yeah, Australia was in the news cycle a few days ago with their increasing regulations and collective shout and all that. And, hey, they got to get right back at the top of the news cycle, apparently. This being reported. Reuters saying, Australia widens teen social media ban to YouTube, scraps exemption. Prime Minister tells parents... The first bullet point had me laughing. Prime Minister tells parents, we have your backs. Friggin', yeah, you have your backs, you stab them in the back is what you're doing. Like, bro, really? Ban set to take effect in December. Other sites objected to YouTube's exemption. Sydney, July 30th. Reuters reports Australia said on Wednesday it will add YouTube to sites covered by its world-first ban on social media for teenagers, reversing an earlier decision to exempt the Alphabet-owned Google video. It's the ticker symbol, I think, but yeah, video sharing site and potentially setting up a legal challenge. The decision came after the internet regulator urged the government last month to overturn the YouTube carve-out, citing a survey that found 37% of minors reported harmful content on the site, the worst showing for a social media platform. I'm calling time on it, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said in a statement highlighting that Australian children were being negatively affected by online platforms and reminding social media of their social responsibility. So anyone can make a poll and allegedly show results that show that, like, oh, this is harmful, and the government's going to be like, okay, yeah, that doesn't seem suspicious at all, and, like, it could be abused. And, like, even if that poll's accurate, it doesn't mean you just take action like this. I want Australian parents to know that we have their backs. The decision broadens the ban set to take effect in December. YouTube says it is used by nearly 3/4 of Australians aged 13 to 15 and should not be classified as social media because its main activity is hosting videos. Our position remains clear. YouTube is a video sharing platform with a library of free, high-quality content, increasingly viewed on TV screens. It's not social media, a YouTube spokesperson said by email. And you know, I'd love to defend YouTube, but like, with the news that we literally just read about the monitoring activities with AI, what are you guys doing? Like what are we doing here? Come on. Since the government said last year it would exempt YouTube due to its popularity with teachers, platforms covered by the ban such as Meta, Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok have complained. They say YouTube has key similarities to their products, including letting users interact and recommending content through an algorithm based on activity. The ban outlaws YouTube accounts for those younger than 16, allowing parents and teachers to show videos on it to minors. YouTube Kids is the thing already, isn't it? I mean, that's all they need to say. Like, we have YouTube Kids. It is up to the parents to ensure that their children are using YouTube Kids or, you know, anything like that. Put it in their own words. But it doesn't mean you start conforming to these regulations and enacting AI spying. Like, unbelievable. I say that a lot, unbelievable. It just really is. Lost for words with some of this stuff. We got this quote from Angela Falkenberg, president of the Australian Primary Principals Association, which supports the ban. She says, teachers are always curators of any resource for appropriateness and will be judicious. And that's funny. I thought teachers were supposed to teach, not become the moral police. Artificial intelligence has supercharged the spread of misinformation on social media platforms such as YouTube, said Adam Marr, Chief Information Security Officer at cybersecurity firm Arctic Wolf. You know, oftentimes these people in positions of power say that something's misinformation, not when it really is, but because it goes against the agenda that they're trying to spread. The Australian government's move to regulate YouTube is an important step in pushing back against the unchecked power of big tech and protecting kids, he added in an email. If you want to go check big tech, I think there's like other things you could do as opposed to disingenuously using children to censor the internet, to regulate people, to spy on them, to get their personal information, etc., all the stuff we've been talking about. And that takes us over to the next article, reclaimthenet.org, saying revealed Office of Communications, which is a regulatory agency in the UK, which to my understanding has government backing. And they say revealed Ofcom, Office of Communications, pressured Rumble and Reddit to enforce UK censorship laws beyond borders. Internal communications, now made public by the US House Judiciary Committee, shed light on a pattern of escalating pressure by the UK's communications regulator, Ofcom, aimed at pushing US-based tech platforms like Rumble and Reddit into adopting strict speech standards, even in apparent disregard for national borders and free speech protections. The emails expose how Ofcom has been leaning on Rumble to align itself with UK's Online Safety Act, a censorship law that vastly expands the state's oversight of online content under the guise of child protection and harm prevention. Rumble, which has consistently maintained that it is not within the scope of the legislation, told the regulator that the UK is not a target market, that the platform does not have a substantial user base in Britain. It's actually a pretty funny response. Yeah, you guys aren't even our target market. We're just not going to even bother with this. Like, get out of here. I mean, actually, we got the email here. Let's take a look. Dear Redacted, thank you for your follow-up email. Rumble has not finally determined whether the Online Safety Act applies to us, but we are inclined at this point in time to think it does not. We do not have a significant number of online users in the UK, nor is the UK a target market for us. And while Rumble is capable of being accessed by UK users, we do not believe there is a material risk of significant harm to UK users of Rumble. As such, we do not believe that a call is necessary at this time. Despite this, Ofcom responded with veiled warnings. In one exchange, the agency stated that it would be monitoring Rumble's position carefully. Oh, wow. And that it may follow up if Rumble's stance is contradicted by future activity or incidents involving UK users. The implication was clear. Remaining outside the regulatory net may not be tolerated for long. Ofcom also stated it would strongly encourage Rumble to take the steps required by the Act to protect UK users of internet services from content that is illegal in the UK or potentially harmful to UK children. So that's like the TLDR. I'm not going to read the full email again this time, but if you'd like to, it's on screen. And I even removed myself so you can get a better look or screenshot it or whatever you'd like. And they continue with the summary saying, yet Rumble operates from within the US, where citizens actually have free speech rights under the First Amendment. Well, according to UK Prime Minister in the clip we watched yesterday, Starmer was very much claiming that the UK has free speech. He just didn't sound like he believes it all and sounded completely full of it. And the actions of their government also suggest otherwise. But according to him, oh yeah, they totally do. And quick side note, by the way, shouts out to my UK viewers. You guys know I don't really have experience covering politics at all, let alone UK politics, but I've gotten a lot of kind messages, kind comments from people in UK saying that they're enjoying my coverage on this stuff. And I, as mentioned, greatly appreciate it. So let's continue. Rumble operates from within the US, where citizens actually have free speech rights under the First Amendment, raising serious concerns about the extraterritorial application of UK law to platforms governed by different legal frameworks. Further emails show that Ofcom believes a supervisory relationship between the agency and online services is the most effective way to review and assess compliance. Again, suggesting that companies should voluntarily submit to oversight or risk the alternative, legal coercion. We retain the right to legally request information, the regulator warned. Reddit also appears to be in the crosshairs. In a separate line of correspondence, Ofcom indicated that it expects a supervision plan to be in place for the platform, which, with particular emphasis on how Reddit handles so-called hate content, a term that remains dangerously elastic and open to political manipulation. This shows how regulators are leveraging ambiguous language and compliance pressure to steer speech policies on platforms that are not even based in the UK. Ofcom's behavior shows a bureaucratic intent to expand its influence far beyond Britain's borders, effectively demanding that foreign platforms enforce UK legal standards on content that may not be illegal elsewhere. And the last thing we're going to take a look at is this article from The Telegraph regarding Spotify, titled "Spotify Threatens to Delete Accounts That Fail Age Verification." We're just going to read like the first few paragraphs here because it summarizes enough of what's going on. But they say, Spotify has threatened to delete people's accounts if they fail new age verification checks. The music streaming app, which has nearly 700 million users, said it would remove accounts that fail age estimation checks within 90 days, as it seeks to block younger teenagers and children from accessing explicit music and videos. The age estimation check thing seems reminiscent to what we read earlier about YouTube age estimation stuff. And this quote saying, "You cannot use Spotify if you don't meet the minimum age requirements for the market you're in." A new page on Spotify's website reads, "If you cannot confirm you're old enough to use Spotify, your account will be deactivated and eventually deleted." On Wednesday, social media users began reporting a new pop-up appearing within the music streaming service, asking listeners to verify their age using Yoti, a smartphone app that uses face scanning technology to estimate a person's age. Those judged to appear underage will be asked to complete a further ID check. The accounts of users that fail to pass an ID check within 90 days will be deleted. Spotify said users who are asked to verify their age could decline to undertake the check, but they would be blocked from accessing adult videos. Spotify said some users will now have to confirm their age by going through an age assurance process. For example, when a user attempts to watch a music video that has been labeled over 18 by the rights holder for that video, Spotify may serve a prompt for that user to confirm the user's age. Yeah, what's next? They're going to say something like, "Hey guys, with the rise of AI across the internet, we need to assure that you're a real human and not a bot. So we need you to comply with our human assurance regulations. I'm sure you understand, it's for the greater good. It's a very easy process. Just submit your facial scan and a government issued ID, and we also need like a thumbprint scan from you too. You know, all very reasonable stuff to protect everyone. Again, for the greater good." Who knows like what extreme they'll stop at. I don't trust any of these people, any of these governments and companies and all of them, you know. Dude, it's a freaking mess. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you. See you in the comments and in the next one.